The ledger board is the only part of your deck that is attached to the house. It's also the most common place where decks fail. So there's three things that I focus on when I'm attaching my ledger: the type of material I'm using, if I'm gonna pre-hang my joist hangers or not, and what could potentially get flagged at inspection. Let's get into it. So the first thing you need to decide is what materials are you using for the ledger board. There's a few different options. I'm using what's available to us in the Pacific Northwest. This is called pressure treated hemlock. This is our industry standard. There's some other products on the market. One's called kiln dried, or KDAT, kiln dried after treatment, which is limited in its availability. It's gonna cost more than standard pressure treated, but it can also be less shrinkage than standard pressure treated materials are. And then we get into our treated LVLs. This is called Pacific Wood Tech, PWT. And what an LVL is, it's a laminated veneer lumber. That's what we're happen to be using on this project. And this is more consistent, it's dry, it's treated from the inside out, and most of the materials are all the same size. So we don't have to worry about shrinkage or expansion and contraction. It's all basically in the same distance from height and width and everything. The dimensions are great. Then there's one other product that we've used in the past, and that's aluminum or metals. There's steel framing and aluminum framing. That's on the upper echelon of the price, and you're gonna spend a lot more using those products. It's not in every budget. For now, we've decided to go with a PWT treated LVL because we like the usage of wood that has the same characteristics of a pressure treated material, but better. So this will span further. It's much stronger than a standard treated hemlock is. So once you decide on the material you're using for your ledger board, then it will determine how you attach it and what you do next. Traditionally, we would normally take a piece of pressure treated hemlock, and because of the inconsistencies in the thicknesses of all the joists, we wouldn't be able to pre-install the joist hangers on the ledger. We would hang the ledger to the house, do our layout, and then we go and we bring each piece of treated lumber to the ledger. We'd put it up to the height we want, and then we would temporarily tack it to the house. Then we would come in and put a joist hanger on after we tack it to the house. It takes a little bit more time to install, and you can't prep it as well as you can other products. Well, if you're interested in how that process works, check the link in the description. We have a few videos on pressure treated hemlock and how we hang joists to the ledger. So for this installation, the treated PWT is very consistent in height. We are going to pre-install the joist hangers right onto the side of the ledger before we put it up on the house. We know where all of our layout is. We have all of our lines drawn. We have all the layout done for the ledger on the house. We don't have the layout yet for the fasteners, which I should probably do before I put all these joist hangers in. So how many fasteners should you use in your ledger? We get that question a lot. Well, it varies. It varies on the size of the deck, how many pounds per square foot you're building to, how many feet the joists are extending from the house, how close on center the joists are. This information is available on Fasten Master's website, but you can see this graph right here. They're telling you to install these in a V formation every so often apart. So there's letter C, letter A, letter B. So those are all different dimensions that you need to keep your fasteners away from the edge of particular parts of the deck. Now on the other side, it shows you a chart, and it shows the type of rim material you're using, the ledger material you might be using, the live load that you have to build to. We have to build to a 60 pound per square foot live load, so that's the lower chart. And then it shows the joist length, how far the joists are spanning, and it'll tell you how many fasteners you need or how many inches on center you need to stagger your fasteners. For our particular deck, we're only 8 feet to the beam, but the joist total length is 10 feet. We're actually using LVL, so we can treat this like a Doug fir or a southern yellow pine because it has incredible strength, more strength than Doug fir. We go over to an up to 10-foot span, and we go down and it says 10. We have to have a fastener every 10 inches on our ledger. On this chart down here, it says A. Your minimum distance away right here is 3 3/4. So I usually go about 4 inches away. That's how you figure out how many fasteners you need. But I'm gonna go ahead and lay this out, and then we'll start installing these. So there's my first 4-inch layout. Here's 1 3/4, and I like to double up my ends. So even though they're suggesting just a single, I'm always gonna double up my ends, okay? So we're down 1 3/4 inches and we're up 1 3/4 inches, so that's perfect. And then every 10 inches after that. Now the only reason I wouldn't put it at 10 inches is if I'm getting really close to where a joist hanger might go, I might put it at a different distance. So I'll probably put this one at 9 inches just because I don't want to hit this with my joist hanger. So my next fastener will go right there. And then I can just kind of measure from there on out. And we're gonna stagger these high and low, okay? You know, a tool has truly earned its place when you start taking it for granted, because it's never once given you a reason not to. Build after build, that's exactly what US 4 does. Every job site has that tool that just disappears into the work. You reach for it without thinking, not because it's just there, but because you already know what it's going to do. It's just part of the day. And that consistency, that's actually the hardest thing to manufacture. Most tools have good days and bad days. The ones that show up exactly the same every single morning, those are rare. US 4 just makes it look effortless. The tools that never make you think twice are the hardest ones to replace. US 4 has become exactly that for us, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Links below, us4pro.com. All right, so you may have noticed that this board is exceptionally long. That's one cool feature about PWT that basically no other manufacturer of engineered lumber or man-made materials can do. We can get up to 54-foot long pieces of material from PWT. This ledger came 34 feet long. I needed 32 10 of it. Our ledger is one straight piece of 1.5 inch by 7.25 inch laminated veneered lumber that's treated. Now that I know where all my fasteners are going, and I have that all laid out, now I can go ahead and install all of my joist hangers, pre-install everything. I've got my template right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and take it and line it up. I'm gonna flush this piece right to the top, and then I'm gonna put my joist hanger right here. Now what I'm gonna do is I have this joist hanger gun by Metabo HPT. It's called a metal connector. It shoots Tico nails, which is a joist hanger nail, right into the material. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get the first fastener exactly where I want it. Sometimes these little tabs get in the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack the tab in there. Boom. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double check and make sure that this joist hanger is on my line so that this side is straight. Then I'm gonna go ahead and drop that in, and then there's your third nail. So that side of the joist hanger is installed. Now I'm gonna come back over here. There we go, boom. Now that first hanger's done and ready to go. So when we're ready to put our joist in, after this is on the wall, your joist will hang right in like that. It's pretty much set to the right depth that you can raise it or lower it, and then you'll put the fasteners in. We use 2.5 inch structural drive screws through all 4 of these holes, and that'll hold your joist to the wall. I just gotta do that another 20 or so times, and then we're ready to hang this ledger on the house. All right, so all our hangers are in. Now I just have to put in the ledger locks. These are the fasteners that are gonna attach the ledger to the house. And once that's done, then we can go ahead and get this ledger installed. All right, to prove my point, the joist hanger is already on and it fits right in there. There's a little bit of room for up and down, which is great, but it pretty much fits exactly the way I want it to. Let's go check the middle and the far end. With KDAT, or kiln dried after treatment, you still aren't gonna have that exact match. You're actually drying the materials which aren't perfectly the same size every piece, so there's still gonna be variance in between the joist sizes when you're installing it. And with a metal system, everything has to be done with that system. You can't mix and match. Let's say it's time for your building inspection, and the building inspector is gonna wanna come up and he's gonna wanna see where you put those fasteners. You're gonna have a set of plans that indicate how many fasteners you have and how far apart they're staggered. If they're not staggered properly, or there's not enough fasteners, the inspector may call for you to add more fasteners. He may fail your inspection because if you don't have the right amount of fasteners in your ledger or it's not to the plan, it might not suffice and he may not like that. Definitely make sure you have the right amount of fasteners in your ledger and that they're as spec'd or as drawn so that you can get your final inspection. I've actually been called out before. We missed one on one joist hanger and I said, hey, you're missing nails here, you gotta get that done before I sign this off. So just make sure you fill all your holes, that all your screws are installed properly, that you're using the right type of fasteners for your joist hangers so that you have really positive connection and that it passes your inspection. The builders who get these fundamentals right don't get callbacks. The ones that don't do.